Lexi, and today we have a fun video. We are going to do a full face or almost full face of first impressions because I want to use this quint. This is my birthday gift from my friend Aileen over at A Merch Beauty, and I love blue eyeshadow. I love eyeshadow of any color, and I wanted to use it. So since I wanted to use that, I was like, I have a whole lot of makeup that will make for a fun first impression video. So let's go ahead and get the bangs out of the face for right now. And we're gonna go ahead and start. So the first thing to try is I bought the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. This doesn't have a shade on it. It kind of looks weird. If you look, you can see that it's kind of separated from the sides. Wow, that's dry. That is really dry. Okay, I wonder if, let me grab a brush and see if that kind of helps. But yeah, like I went through and bought a bunch of makeup, you know, for my birthday, for myself, and then I got some as gifts, and I was like, this will be fun to play with. You know what I mean? So I will say this, at least about this primer already, it does seem to work better if you use a brush. Like I don't think that this is going to be something that stays in my makeup collection, at least at the consistency it's at now. It's too dry, and I don't know if it's because it's old. Like I don't know if it's sat on the shelf a while, but like I'm really digging in here. But you know, e.l.f., just like any other brand, has hits and misses. Not everything's gonna be perfect, and you don't know unless you try. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that consistency. Like putting it on my eyelid, it feels super draggy. I mean, but you can see like when I'm going into it, like not much comes off, and then even trying to see how patchy that is because it's just not coming off evenly. So just testing this is a no. But you know, you don't know unless you try. So it's some people that might be a holy grail, and as I said, it might be because that one sat at Ulta for too long, but like my eyelids feel tacky. They don't feel like there's anything on it. So I'm gonna take, this is the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer pen, and we're gonna try to prime over that with this. This is brand new too. I'm gonna use this as my concealer, but I did go ahead and like start the clicky part, because if you've ever had to deal with that, you know as well as I do how that takes forever to get to that point. So it's like, well, to save time, we will do that. That's not the best, that's not the worst, but see how patchy now my eyelids look? Because I can see it on camera, so hopefully you can too. And my eyelids don't typically look that patchy. So let's grab an eyebrow brush, kind of get my brows out of the way. They look atrocious. I need to go get them done. I need to text Melinda and see if she can get them done for me. But yeah, like, I don't know. I'm still not 100% pleased with how that is. Let's see if I can use it with my sponge to see if I can get it better. So we're gonna go back into the Putty Eye Primer. Yeah, no. I still don't like it. I mean, and like I'm digging in there. It just isn't, like, this is the driest thing I've ever put on my face. Hopefully the other putty products I have are better. Okay, so we'll just kind of leave it there. I'm gonna grab my e.l.f. eye tapes. This is not anything new. I use these every time I do my makeup for the most part. It's my favorite thing in the world. It really gives like the lift that I need to my eye, because if you look, my eyes are a tad bit downturned at the edges. So whenever I do a look with using these, it lifts up and out, which in turn I think looks better. So where's my quint? It's underneath that. So we've got the Dior Quint, and this is the Denim palette. I'm taking out the brushes. The eyeshadow fell out. What are you doing, Timmy Dior? Okay, got it back in. So that's the shadow that fell out. So we're gonna go ahead and swatch. Let me wipe my fingers off because I had to put the shadow back in the palette. I think that's kind of like how the theme of today is gonna go. I just have a feeling that it's going to be like this. So there's a 5 colors, that's what Quint needs. So the first one is like this really pretty satiny cobalt blue. Actually, that swatch is really nice and these feel nice. Then we have more of a steel blue metallic. Oh, that's actually pretty reflective. The center we have like a gold metallic, kind of, not really a metallic though. Then we have the deep teal. That's almost the color of I just painted my bedroom. There we go. Those are really pretty. And then last but not least, we have a matte navy side. So that is the whole Quint, 5 shades. But yeah, I can't wait to get it on my eyeballs. And then I have some other products that I can use with it if it needs to be jazzed up some, because I love a good dramatic eye. I love a good smoky eye. So we're gonna go in with a BK Beauty 201. BK Beauties are some of my favorite brushes, and this is a great blending brush. And we're gonna go into that center gold shade. And I'm trying to look at the camera. I always forget and look at the monitor because that's how I see if I'm in frame and all that jazz. And I always forget. So we're gonna start off with that gold shade and apply it all over where the primer is. I just feel like I need something like that today. Not because of the Dior shadows, they just feel really nice. It's more because that e.l.f. eyeshadow primer sucked. And using it one time, like, I can say that. Like, not even really keeping it on my eyeballs. I can say that. So as you can see, that gold shade is a tad bit lighter than my complexion, but I typically go lighter with eye primer than I do with face makeup because I do want my eyeshadows to pop. So, okay, that color's not bad. I'm not loving how it's sitting on the eyes, but if you look, that primer is showing so much texture, it's not even funny. So I'm gonna use the same brush and I'm gonna go into that bright blue and we're gonna apply that in the outer crease. See what I'm saying? Like, the texture and stuff on my eyelid I don't think is from the shadows because the shadows are performing great on top of that primer. I think that they would perform even better on some of my other ones, but yeah, that primer is terrible because that texture was there before I put eyeshadow on. But see how that's just a really pretty, like, Columbia blue, Carolina blue color. It looks really, really pretty on. So let's go ahead and blend that out. I mean, and as you can see, it really is blending like a dream. Dior does have, at least all the products I've tried from Dior so far, they have some really good quality luxury makeup. And that is not always the case when it comes to luxury makeup. If you've bought a lot of luxury makeup, you will know what I'm talking about in comparison to like mid-range and indie. You know, luxury isn't always where it's at for color payoff, pigmentation, that type of thing. But so far, these are performing really well. And that's a unique shade of blue. It does remind me of blue jeans, which is probably why it's the denim quad. And now I have the Venom song by Eminem stuck in my head because I want to keep, instead of saying Venom, I want to say denim. You know, that's me and my issue. Okay, so that looks really pretty on. So we're gonna go and get a smaller brush. This is the Refer number 13, and we're gonna go into that navy shade to deepen up the outer crease. Oh yeah, look at that. Now there is some kick up and fallout in this palette. Doesn't bother me in the least little bit. I know some people it does, but for me, it really doesn't. I just let you know because some people, as I said, it bothers. And for me, a lot of times I feel like whenever there's kick up in a palette, it typically means that the shadows perform better, like they blend better. So that's what I'm used to in my personal opinion. But see how pretty that navy shade is? Like it is a little bit unusual. And like these shades, even though they are more of a satin finish, they still look really pretty on the eyes. Because sometimes like whenever you have textured eyes, you know, shimmer shows it a lot and matte isn't always the easiest way to go. Like sometimes matte shadows just don't want to blend or work. Y'all know what it is. But so this slight shimmer formula, would you consider that more of a satin, I guess? Can be easier for people to work with and blend out and all that jazz. Okay, that looks good. So far, so good. I didn't grab my glitter glue today, so we'll see how it goes. I'm just taking that navy shade and packing it over the back edge of it. Okay, I'm liking that. So I'm gonna take that deepest teal right there and we're gonna do it on our finger because that's where I'm at today, and apply that all over the lid. So yeah, I can definitely say that this will be a really smoky blue eye. I think I'm gonna see if I got a little, yeah, we're gonna try this. This is the Sigma E55 blending brush. And we're gonna see if that will apply the shimmer better. What's funny is this shade on the eyes is almost identical to what it is on the lid. But I really like how these shades are performing. A whole lot. I think that they're doing an excellent job on my lid. But I do think I am going to go into, I have some Super Shock shadows and I have some deep ones. I think I'm going to go into one of those and use it on the lid as well, just to kind of give some extra dimension. This is from the ColourPop. This is Wave Breaker. So this is from like their little teal collection, and this is like a really pretty navy. I haven't used it yet, but it does have just a tad bit more sparkle. Actually, for a Super Shock shadow, it really doesn't. Like I was expecting more from it. If that makes sense. Okay, we're gonna try with the setting spray. This is the Kiko Milano Fruit Explosion Setting Spray. Haven't used this yet either. Well, duh, this is a face full of first impressions. Okay. I like how you did. But for me, the only issue I ever have with luxury eyeshadow, like as far as why I don't buy as much of it, is I feel like, in my personal opinion, they lack in the type of shimmers that I prefer. Like, I love luxury face makeup, blush, bronzer, highlight. I love foundation, that type of thing. But a lot of times whenever it comes to just regular like eyeshadow, they do seem to lack just a little bit. Okay, so that is what we're looking like so far. I am gonna go back and blend the navy over the edge. just part of it. And then I'm gonna take my finger and go into the lighter shade and see if that adds a little punch. It does a little bit. But what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into this one. This is another one of the ColourPop Super Shock shadows from that set. This is the Sure Thing. That is like a beautiful bright aqua. Oh yeah. Let's spray it, and then we will blend that over the eyelid. And that gives me just a tad bit more punchiness, which again is what I am looking for with this. There we go. Because as I said, my personal preference for eyeshadow is I do prefer something punchy. But I do see the appeal of those Dior Quints and like the Tom Ford Quads. The thing with them is they're very easy to use, and the colors are curated, and typically all in all they're good eyeshadows. Does that make sense? Like they're may not have as much sparkle as I prefer, but a lot of people don't want glitter shimmer. You know what I'm saying? So if you do like luxury, you know, Dior is definitely somewhere to look into, and so is Tom Ford. And if you are looking for content like that, my friend Aileen, who sent me the Dior quad for my birthday at A Merch Beauty, is a great source. So is Jen from Al Feisty, Mo Makeup, Mo Beauty. There's a ton of great luxury creators out there, just in case you are interested, because I always like to be very, very honest. So that's what the top of the eyes look like. I do really like how it came out. Like, I was scared it was gonna be a little bit too grungy, but I do like the grungy blue. Like, I haven't played with anything that's like this in quite a while. So now we need mascara, but I need to do my curl my lashes first. Now, I don't have any new mascara. Well, I do. I bought the Lily Lash, but it is not getting opened yet. I try not to keep more than a couple of mascaras open at any given point, because if not, that's wasteful in my opinion. Because mascaras, you know, go bad rather quickly because they dry out. So we're gonna try this and see how it goes. This, I'm not trying this. This is the Anastasia mascara. I've had this a while, but you know, I always worry about eye infections. So mascara is one of those things that I'm like, nope. They always say change it, so we're changing it. Okay, there we go. That looks good. Looks good. I gotta get that off. Okay, while my mascara is drying, we'll go ahead and try, this is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I don't remember what this is supposed to be. I think, was this supposed to be a dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip? I didn't really like that one. It smells like watermelon candy, which I like. It is very sticky, and I don't know if I will like that. I don't, like, I owned the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I gave it to Nadia. She loves it, but she's got combo skin, leaning more oily, so she needs something to kind of keep her face stuck. But I don't think that's going to be a keep either. At least I got hit a piece of pepper in my teeth. Don't y'all hate when that happens? But my hands do feel sticky, so I'm not a fan of that. Okay, so wiped my hands off. We're gonna go ahead and try the lashes. This is the Kiss Lash Glue Liner Starter Kit. Paid like 20 bucks for it. It has scissors to trim your lashes. It has the little tool to apply them. It has the lash glue, the whole 9 yards. And these are more of a style of lashes that I will wear. They don't have a thick band, so I am hoping that they will work for me. But I make no guarantees, because like, I have literally said this 1,000 times. Like, I will try out other lashes, but I always go back to these. These are the Eylure Accent #5s. So, first thing I need to do is look at these lashes and trim them. because I have a feeling that they're gonna be too long. Are they gonna be too long? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna take off just a trim a little section. Say a little prayer for you, forever, forever. And you can always, like if you're trimming lashes, you can always save like that little outside portion that you trim, just in case you're wondering. And it's funny because, you know, lashes, you think you need to, lashes are complicated. Like I love lashes, but if I could get the look of lashes without lashes, I would. Does that make sense? Like my natural lashes, like they hold a curl, but they are a little on the stubby side. And I just want them to look a little fuller and a little thicker. So we're gonna try this lash glue. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so it's more of like a felt tip applicator. Thank goodness this is like a testing new thing. And thank goodness this liner has like no color, because if it did, I would be SOL. Because you would be able to see how terrible I am at putting on liner. It does take on the color of your eyeshadow, so you might want to be careful about that. So let's see. Kind of work it around. And I didn't like look to see how long to let it set or anything like that. That was pretty easy to apply, which is always a plus. So go ahead and squeeze my lashes together. Lashes for me, as I said, they're just not the easiest thing in the world to put on. When you're blind in one eye, it's kind of like, then you understand what I mean. Like, I don't know. I use the word like a lot. I'm sorry-ish, kind of. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that together. And I do, okay, so as that primer sits, it's not as sticky, which is something I prefer. One thing I do with my lashes to kind of help blend them in is like, I will take and clip and put them together. I have to be careful though, because like I was messy with that glue. And see how that really kind of helps blend them together, and it helps hide the edges if you're not the most perfect. But those were actually pretty easy to install. So next up for foundation, this is the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation. It has SPF 15 and it is for full coverage, and this is the shade WO54. I haven't used it yet. Okay, so that is definitely yellow leaning, more warm tone. I don't know if that's the perfect shade for my skin, but it's not the worst. And I can typically make foundations work depending on the bronzer and stuff like that that I'm using. It smells good. It does not have the lemon pledge scent though. So the face base that I used the first time around, like during my luxury, was it luxury? Or did I use it Saturday? I don't know. I had enough new makeup to be able to do multiple videos where they're almost full faces of new makeup. You know, it was my birthday, I'm allowed. But yeah. So as you can see, like whenever I put it on my skin, it does pull very yellow, and it is a little bit on the pale side. It's like I always have struggle with foundations. I'm like, when I'm looking at pictures, and I ordered this online because my Ulta doesn't carry anything really worth a crap, that it is, oh, there we go. Had to fix my lash. But it's very difficult to pick foundations online. So, in case you're wondering. Okay. So far that is sitting on the skin really well. My skin still feels sticky underneath everything. I'm not sure if I like that or not, but I'm working with it. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I don't think that primer, it doesn't matter how long that makes my makeup last or anything like that. My hands still feel sticky, and I've wiped them with a makeup wipe. That is definitely not the primer for me, in my opinion. So, I'm trying to keep things kind of sorted by good and not so good. So, there we go. Blend that all out. Okay. Next up, we have the, my hair. See, everything's sticking to me. Is it because of the e.l.f. or is it not? Okay, so I have the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer, and then this is the shade Bronzed Belle. So we're gonna try this. This is a IT Cosmetics. This is a foundation brush, airbrush foundation. And typically a denser brush like this works well whenever you're using cream products, or at least it does for me. Okay, that one's showing. I always worry about that. Okay, I do prefer the putty consistency over the eye primer. It's like, why do you make a dry eye primer? And I don't know if, as I said, I don't know if it's because I got shipped an old one or what. See, that is a pretty bronzer. But I don't know if I got shipped an old one or what, but it just doesn't work. Sorry about the train. There's not much I can do. Okay. I do like the bronzer. Okay, what do you think of the bronzer? I like it. It shows up good, it looks good. Really, train? This is what I deal with multiple times a day. And at night, because we live down the road. So we hear it, I hear it all the time. And most of the time I can ignore it, but for whenever I'm on camera and I hear it, it definitely stands out. Then I have, like, okay, should I use the putty blush? Okay, so this is the putty blush. Yes, this feels a whole lot better. This is more serum-y. And this is the shade, I think it's Hibiscus. No, this is Tahiti. We have that, and then we also have the shade Merlot. This is ones from Undone Beauty, and I haven't tried anything from them. Again, that's a serum-y blush. Okay, we're gonna just we're gonna try Undone. Because, yeah, that's what I did. Okay. You see how it's kind of gathering up? Okay, that part I don't like, but I think I got it better. But I don't know if that's the blush, the actual blush, or if that is an issue with the, because of the primer and foundation combo. So I'm just gonna, it does work better when I just kind of tap it in, but that is some pinky cheeks. It does have a weird but good consistency. I am using the Undone highlighter in Gold Lit to see how that goes. Like, okay, so one thing, this does have like this very serum-y feel to it, which isn't a bad thing. Like, it's very cooling. It's almost a gel-like consistency, but it is not my favorite style of highlighter. If you look, you can see that it's kind of blah. It's not as blinding as I would like it to be. But again, I need to hold on to it and try it other ways because I don't like dislike it, if that makes sense. Okay, let's go for concealer. We've got the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. I don't know what shade this is. Oh, 26 in Light Neutral. Now, I do not like this type of applicator for concealer. I don't like brush tips or sponge tips really for anything. The one from Charlotte Tilbury on the wands isn't bad, but like whenever you're talking about it for the concealer, those sponge tips, it's terrible. And for Danessa Myricks, her sponge tip, again, terrible. Or not sponge tip, hers is a brush tip like this. And I just don't like how gunky they get. I didn't know, I should have looked at it better, but it was $5. So again, if I don't like it and I don't keep it, it's not the end of the world. You know, but I have people that will take it and get use out of it if I don't. You know what I'm saying? So let's blend that out. I mean, it is brightening. It is blending well. So I don't think it gave me much coverage, but it's okay. Okay, so I can deal with that. No coverage, but it does look good under the eyes so far. So we can use that for a bit longer and see what we think. We're getting there. Now we're cooking with gas, so that's a keeper. Okay, let's do some face powder. Now, I did use this in my Luxury Beauty, but we are gonna use the Bobbi Brown Nude Finish Illuminating Powder. This is a BH Cosmetics #1 brush. And typically whenever I'm using a powder like this, I use a big dense, like whether it's the blur powder or anything else that's like a finishing powder, other than if I'm using like full-on baking powder or setting powder. But like these finishing powders, this is what I do. I use a big dense brush, dab it in there, and then dab it everywhere else to set everything. Okay. Okay, that's not bad on the skin. What do you think? I think it looks good. Okay. Again, I've used that one before. Then we have the PYT Beauty. This is the Faux Sun Bronzer Duo. I have no idea how that's gonna look because this is definitely too light. That's a setting powder. And this looks like a setting powder as well. So we're gonna try to go into the deeper side. And what this looks like, it may still have other bronzer on this brush, honestly. I don't think it does. I mean, I'm getting some color, a little bit of warmth, more than what I thought it was going to be. So that's not a bad thing. But I think this is their only shade of bronzer. But there were some new brands like PYT and Undone that I was like, ooh, let's try those. And I'm not sure. Okay, so I need to play with that some more, but it did blend out really well. I think it looks good on the skin, so that's a plus. Take my big powder brush, go over the edges. Okay, then for blush, to kind of top off where I put the cream, I always top it off. I've got my Makeup Revolution palette. I did use this shade right here. I haven't used anything else. So I'm gonna take my blush brush. This is BH Cosmetics #3. I'm gonna go into that warm with glitter. the glitter doesn't stay on these blushes, but man, oh man, do I now have sparkly cheeks. I'm not sure if that's going to be a keep. I'm gonna use it a couple more times to see if I can get rid of the glitters, but if not, it won't stay in my collection. I don't mind a sparkle, but I don't want, like, you can see, I mean, like literally, this is glitter on the cheeks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So we're gonna go into, this is the Smashbox Halo Glow, and we're gonna go into the powder side. That is a highlight, but it is a lot. Okay. I'm going to take my big powder brush again, blend over. And that's one thing I do constantly is I am always reblending stuff. So let's do eyebrows. They're not gonna take me long. This is the Urban Decay Brow Blade. I did get a new brow product, which was the Too Faced one. I need to play with it some more, but I've been using this one and I'm trying to kind of use up products. So I figured we'd go ahead and finish, not really finish it off, it ain't anywhere near finished, I don't think, but use it to knock out my brows today. Because why not? I don't know about y'all. Like, I wish there was a permanent way to do my brows without tattooing, because, or microblading, because that scares me. Like, I'm not scared of tattoos, but it is very scary for me to think of someone putting that on my face. And I have a friend of mine that actually does it for a living, and yeah, I still won't get it done. And I trust her, but it's just, you know, it's all part of it. So, just going ahead and filling in and blending out my brows. But what I love about the Brow Blade by Urban Decay is you've got the pencil on one side, which is my preferred method of doing my eyebrows, is with the pencil. But then you have this pen on the other side. And what that pen is great for, it is a little bit of a different shade, and you can give yourself, you see now, those realistic eyebrow hairs. And it's like a felt tip, almost like a liner. So I think it's pretty good. Oh yeah, I gotta fix this lash. Do you see where that edge is not laid down? Oh, lashes, lashes, lashes are always troublesome. Okay. But then again, as I said, I don't wear lashes that are like, I almost exclusively wear the 3/4 length lashes. So using this is actually a little bit more of a stretch. Okay, that's better. Okay, so let's do some liner. This is the LA Girl Shockwave Metallic Liner, and then this is the shade Ocean, I think. What is it? Does it not say? Yeah, Ocean. I bought a few of these from Ulta. And I love my ColourPop ones. Ooh, that actually goes perfectly with this look. Who would have known? What do you think? I think it looks pretty good. Okay. Let's add our under eye eyeshadow. Is that what I'm talking about now? Yes. We're gonna use that rougher number 13 that was in the navy and do the navy towards the outer edge. Look how good that looks. Like, y'all, not trying to toot my own horn, but I love a good blue, I love a good smoky eye in general. And this Quint, I really like the shades that are in here. I think it's very, very unique, which is always, always a plus. I'm gonna take the brush that had the blue on it on the top, and again, I like to go back and make sure everything is blended. splendidly blended. Okay, I'm gonna use the Smashbox to do my inner corner. We're gonna go into the powder because I love that Dior Quint, but I do feel like it is lacking something for the inner corner. But you can always use your highlighter, which to me, if that's something that's lacking, that's one thing I will do to make it where things kind of blend together really well, is grab like my highlight shade, or like if I'm using like just a shimmer palette, maybe grab my bronzer and powder to really help blend everything together. Okay, that does work really well as an inner corner highlight, but I lifted that lash again. There we go. Okay, getting there now. Okay, let's go ahead and use our spray before we do our lips. Okay. Oh, I do like the way that spray feels. What does that smell like? It smells like, it's like a candy smell. I don't know, but it's like a saccharine smell, like it smells like fake sugar. I don't know if I like that. I mean, it is kind of dissipating. But I mean, the main reason I use setting spray is not that because it makes my makeup last like dramatically longer. I typically use it because it helps melt all the powders together. And so this one is supposed to be like an actual lasting setting spray. And then next and last but not least, well, we got a couple more lip products. We're gonna use the Undone Beauty. There's two sides. This has a liner and a lip pencil, and this is a lip stain. And this is a nude shade. What is this one called? Does it tell me on the thing? Yes, this is Neutral Nude. I've never used a felt tip lip liner before. It is kind of easy to use though. Like, I don't know if you see, like for someone like me who has shaky hands and small lips, this has a nice precise tip. And we'll see how this lasts, because if it's good, then I might get other shades in it. Okay. It's very hard to line your lips and talk, so sorry. It's too quiet. Okay. That goes on pretty well. Now, I feel like it is lacking the pigmentation up top. There we go. Gotta kind of get it going again. That's the problem with felt tip, right there. All right, and then the other side is a felt tip as well. And it's almost like, okay, so this is very pinky. The liner's a little bit more warm, more orangey. To me, it's almost pointless to have both. Like, I think that if you just had this lip stain, because of the way it's applied, I think that that would have been just enough. But, you can see how the color just kind of goes out of it. I don't know. I like the precision of the felt tip. I don't know if I like that felt tip. Okay, and then last but not least, we're gonna use the Milani Fruit Explosion Juicy Lip Oil. That smells good. Because I love a good glossy lip, y'all. That feels nice. And smells good. These are the types of things I like on my lips at any point. So we are pretty much done with our full face of first impressions. So I can already tell you there are a couple of things that are definitely not even moving into my collection, and that is the Jelly Primer and the Putty Eye Primer from e.l.f. But everything else will move in. We'll test it some. I am in the middle of doing declutter, so we'll see if it actually lasts, because once I actually compare it with other things that I have, I'll be able to be like, do I want to keep this in my collection? You know what I mean? And I'll try to use it too before I get to that, but that's where I am. Okay. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks really good. So, my favorite standout, Dior Quint, how can I not? That and this lip oil I really like. Everything else I kind of have to play with to see if I actually even want to keep it in my collection. But I guess that's it. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon, that will notify you when I post new videos, which is typically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do a live on Saturdays at 2 p.m. But with as much makeup as I have just acquired, I have been posting a whole lot more. But I guess that's it. So we'll see y'all later. Bye.